So we're going to be covering total account value. When you help a client set up an account, being able to run through what the value of that account really is for that client is a crucial piece of this puzzle. So on the total account value, let's say when you do your illustration, at age 65, you have $800,000 in that account. But it's not really $800,000. This is what that really is, and this is how I explain it to a client. The average baby boomer is going to live till 90. I can't do math from 65 to 90 off the top of my head, but I can do 65 to 85 like a whiz. I'm a genius at tens. What that means is, for the first 10 years, from 65 to 75, if you have $800,000 in your account, if it's making 8% and you're taking 8%, you're just living off of the interest on that account. Well, 8 times 8 is 64, so you'd be taking out $64,000 a year out of that account tax-free. Well, from 65 to 75, 10 years times 64,000 equals $640,000. From 75 to 85, another 10 years, another 64,000 a year is another $640,000. So now we're at 8, 6 and 6 is 12, $1.28 million that account has paid that client through retirement. But we're not done yet. I hope they live till 95 or 105. But let's say they pass away at 85. What happens to the $800,000 they've been living off of? That $800,000 passes on to the family. So that 800 goes on. So now we're at 0, 8, 0, carry the 1, $2 million tax-free. And that passes outside of probate, so it goes directly to the family. So $2 million tax-free that account has paid them. In this account, they also had the protection, the wrapper around that. And in this example, they probably had at least $400,000 of protection on the shelf that when they passed away, that $400,000 passes on to the family as well. So now we're at $2.4 million that account has paid them tax-free. The total amount of money they will have put in over that time is probably about $200,000, maybe $250,000 in to take $2.4 million out. And you're able to look that up on the illustration and show exactly what that was. So the questions we ask at this point, number one, for $250,000 in to take $2.4 million tax-free out of that account, $250,000 in for $2.4 out, is that a good deal or a great deal? And most people, of course, say, well, that's a great deal. Can you see, Joe and Mary, why we recommend so many of these types of accounts? They agree. And the last question, if I can get you qualified for one of these, can you think of any reason you wouldn't want one of these accounts as part of your portfolio? Take people through that process, help them see the total value of their account for the money in after all costs, fees, and expenses. It'll help them make an easier decision at that point.